see it.
Is it really?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, wait a minute. What is it looking at?
Well, I just gave it a notification.
Can you click on it?
Yeah, it's going.
Oh, yay! Okay. Babe, you gotta turn that down, though, because it's gonna have reverb.
Turn it on.
Okay. Okay. It took me like 40 minutes to figure out how to go live, and I actually am able to do this. Alright, so a few weeks back I said that I wanted to do a live of wet felting a scarf, and I told you the supplies that you're going to need. And then I said that I would be back the next week, and well, I got sick. So I'm here now. For those of you who were even expecting this. So I just want to go over again the supplies. I'm going to use scissors, and this is to cut some yarn that I have. You're going to need a pool noodle. This is just like a felting tool, and in one of my videos, I went over all the tools and supplies that you can use in felting, and this is one of them. And in that video, there's a link to where to get this. I believe it's on Amazon, so if you want, you can just go to my videos, find the tools and supplies, and click on the description box below, and then it'll just have that link there for this. And this is fantastic. I use it in almost every time I'm felting. You'll need a towel. You're going to need something to tie your project off with, and I just use leftover pantyhose. You can buy pantyhose from the dollar store and just cut them off the actual body part. This is something that I use instead of a bowl with water and soap, and then this is one of those ball braziers that you can get. You just squeeze it. When this is filled with water, squeeze it, you let go, and then this will be filled with water, and you can spray your project piece. I tend to like this just because I feel like it saves more time for me, and you can adjust how the stream comes out, if it comes out as a mist or if it comes out stronger. I just prefer this. Sometimes I'll put soap in here, but usually it's just water, and then I put the soap on by hand. Whereas if you're using a bowl, I would put the water in here, and then I would add my soap to the actual bowl with water. Mix it around. And if you are doing it this way, you just want to make sure when you put your hand in and you take your hand out, that your hand has a little bit of a slip to it. That's how you know you have enough soap on inside the water. Of course, you're going to need your soap, and you can use Dawn or you can use olive oil soap. I like to use both. My hands have been very dry lately, so I've been using a lot of the olive oil soap. But you can definitely use pretty much any soap that you have, so don't get hung up on that part. I use a screen, but you can also use, let's see here. You can use, this is just like a curtain. It's, I think they call them curtain foil. I don't know how you pronounce it, but this is just a curtain. You can use that, and these are also tulle. You can use tulle to put over your project. So what basically these are is when you lay out all of your fiber and you spray your project down, you put this down over your project so the fibers don't move and you can start manipulating it with your hands. So it's just pretty much a protection barrier between you and the fibers. And of course you're going to need your bubble wrap. Now I'm working on a 6-foot long table. I going to see if the camera can stretch out so you can see the whole table. But I'm working on a 6-foot table, and I think I'm going to go a little bit longer. So my bubble wrap is going to be the width of the table and a little bit longer than the length of the table. So when you are using your bubble wrap, you can cut it to the length of your table if you so wish, or you can go a little bit longer, which is what I'm going to do because I feel like a 6-foot table, it does make it, in the end, the scarf a little bit shorter than how I like to wear my scarves. I like my scarves a little bit longer, and I like to sell them where they have a little bit more length. I feel like people pick those ones out more than they pick out the shorter length ones. Okay, so that's the tools and supplies. Also, you can, just if you don't have a 6-foot table, you can use your kitchen table. You can use any type of table that you want. And I'll show you some tips on how to use a smaller table. So because I am doing my scarf a little bit longer, I'll show you how you can kind of scoot your project down so you can have more room. And that's what you would do with a table, a smaller one. Now you're going to need a side table if you want to put your fiber on a different table. I suggest doing that only because there's water involved and whatnot. So I'm just going to show you though what I picked out. Now I also said in the last video that I did about 8 ounces of fiber to use. You are definitely not going to be using 8 ounces of fiber. That'll be a very thick scarf. I just wanted to go ahead and say that. So if you went and you, let's say, picked out 4 or 5 colors, you can get, you know, an ounce in this color, 2 ounces in that color. So, you know, you play around with the colors and stuff. So I have 8 ounces here. I'm definitely not going to be using 8 ounces. I'm going to make kind of like a fall themed scarf. So I have this color. This is all merino. And then I have this one right here. And, oh, I think I have a teal. And I have a teal. So I have a few color options that I am using. And I'm going to kind of mix them in. And then for my embellishments, I wanted to show you how you can play around with the embellishments in your piece. So this is Sari Silk right here, and it's just hand dyed. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this. So I'm going to use a little bit of that. I have some silk hankies here that I'm going to use. And then I have some silk laps, and this is different than silk hankies. This kind of comes in like a roll. It's just like a bunch of silk. It's just gorgeous. These are all hand dyed. And dyeing your fibers is super easy, and I might do a video on that in the future. I have some bamboo, and this is just such a pretty color that he hand dyed. And then this is some Tencel. And this is super shiny. Can you see how shiny that is? I don't know if it's like showing how shiny it is, but it is super shiny. All right, so now I have some yarns. This is just so beautiful. A woman in Madison, Connecticut makes this, and this is something she spun up, and I just love it. So I'm going to add that. This one is also Madison wool. You can check out the website. They have great yarn there. And then I have some other, this is some Sari Silk, some novelty yarn, and then this is like a mohair blend yarn. Okay, so those are the actual fibers and embellishments that I'm going to use. And I'm just going to set that aside so I can set up my table. Kind of just keep the ones together that are the same. So these are all okay. All right, first things first. You're going to put down your bubble wrap. Now this is just a bunch of them taped together, and I'm definitely not going to make my scarf this long, but this is just the one of the bubble wrap I'm going to use. Okay. Okay. Now, I know a lot of felters like to put down plastic on top of. Here, let me move the camera so you can see just a little bit more of this table here.